Hi guys, Sunday 16th of December. Just gone 11 a.m. in the morning on the east coast of Australia where I am, and it's just gone 7 p.m. on the east coast of the United States on the 15th of December. I'm here on QMAP and Q still has no more posts. So we'll just have a look at some of the other related news happening today. Firstly, looking at Donald Trump's tweets. This is clearly one of the top news items today. As I predicted all along, Obamacare has been struck down as an unconstitutional disaster. Now Congress must pass a strong law that provides great health care and protects pre-existing conditions. Mitch and Nancy, get it done. And he adds, well, but not surprisingly, Obamacare was just ruled unconstitutional by a highly respected judge in Texas. Great news for America. This one's also relevant. Never in the history of our country has the press been more dishonest than it is today. Stories that should be good are bad. Stories that should be bad are horrible. Many stories, like with the real story on Russia, Clinton and the DNC, seldom get reported. Too bad. Well, it is too bad, but people need to see these stories, and there needs to be a change in the way the press operates. I don't know how they'll bring that about. And you can never say Donald Trump misses an opportunity. The pathetic and dishonest Weekly Standard, which is an anti-Trump publication run by failed prognosticator Bill Kristol, who, like many others, never had a clue, is flat broken out of business. Too bad. May it rest in peace. Worth a giggle. And this one, again, none of this gets any mainstream media coverage, so you got to just hear it from the horse's mouth. Wow, 19,000 texts between Lisa Page and her lover, Peter Strzok, of the FBI, in charge of the Russia hoax, were just reported as being wiped clean and gone. Such a big story that will never be covered by the fake news. Witch hunt. And this is how Zero Hedge is reporting the news. Mueller destroyed messages from Peter Strzok's iPhone. The Office of Inspector General recovers 19,000 new FBI lovebird texts. And you'll recall the story that Mueller wiped Strzok and Page's iPhones. Well, he did a factory reset, basically. It wasn't him personally, but he had it done to try to basically destroy the evidence. How he continues in his current job is beyond me. These stories are almost coming out daily now. Anyway, I'll leave a link. And here we go again. Mueller's folly. Flynn 302 form illegally filed by Peter Strzok, anti-Trump FBI agent. And, you know, it just seems to me that Mueller's just flipping the bird, as they say, at the judge here. Basically, the judge wanted to see the 302 of the General Flynn interview, and they gave him one that had been prepared 7 months later by Peter Strzok. Again, you need to read the article, but this is just rubbish. And the Daily Caller is reporting that the FBI releases the key Steele dossier document. The FBI has released a summary that James Comey used in a briefing with President-elect Donald Trump and President Obama regarding the Steele dossier. The document is sure to grab the attention of Republicans who have accused the FBI of relying too heavily on the unverified dossier for its investigation of possible collusion between the Trump campaign and Russian government. The summary shows that the FBI claimed Steele was working for private clients when he was actually working for the DNC and Clinton campaign. It also notes that Steele relied on identified and unidentified subsources to fill out the dossier. Where will this lead to? I've got no idea, but, you know, the Mueller thing's just a load of rubbish now, we can tell. And Hal Turner radio show's got this article. Obama State Department provided Russia dossier nonsense to senators hours before Trump was sworn in. All of it false. The Obama State Department and Department of Justice did all they could to destroy the Trump campaign and Trump administration right up to the minutes before Trump took his oath of office. The FBI and DOJ even sent several spies into the Trump campaign in an unprecedented operation of government political corruption. The Democrat mainstream media has ignored these criminal actions, well, of course, and instead are working on a daily basis with Democrats to wipe out the president and his administration. Judicial Watch released evidence on Friday revealing the last-minute classified leaks to US lawmakers on the bogus Russia-Gate scandal. And if you want to see what Judicial Watch had to say on this, I'll leave a link. And the Washington Times has this article: anti-Trump dossier author was hired to help Hillary challenge the 2016 election results. See, I lose this because I'm not going to pay him. But you'll find that article referenced in this What Does It Mean piece today. Silence falls upon America after British court proves Hillary Clinton created the Russian hoax scheme to overthrow Trump. And it says here, testimony given by Russian Trump dossier fabricator Christopher Steele in a British court saw him admitting under oath that he was hired by Hillary Clinton to concoct his lies so she could use them to challenge the results of the 2016 presidential election. Again, I'll leave a link. This is an interesting story from Gateway Pundit. Rod Rosenstein will not allow General Flynn interrogator Joe Pientka to testify, despite his reported willingness to defend Flynn. Why Rosenstein won't let him do it, who knows? I don't think the story adds much, but I'll leave a link. Kim.com has a bit of a rant today about what's been happening. Five Eyes spy agencies have an agreement to spy on each other's population and share the mass surveillance data via a global search interface, X-Keyscore, circumventing national laws prohibiting mass spying against their own citizens, the largest criminal conspiracy in the world. And I think that is a fact. Kim then goes on to rant about the UK part of the I Spy providing backdoor access into all communication networks of New Zealanders, but unfortunately New Zealanders are not interested in this, and that they're just going to be destroyed. I'll leave a link, you can have a look at all of this. And the Last Refuge has this interesting article: why wouldn't the Obama intelligence apparatus wiretap the White House? Forget the unmentioned, brutally obvious political motives and intents behind the operation against Donald Trump for a moment and focus on the collective Obama activity as if they actually believe the claims they have since presented. And you can see the counter-argument worth a read. And I also suggest that anyone who wants a quick overview of the Clinton Foundation and what's been happening of recent times, this is a very good overview by Rex. Clinton's in the crosshairs, message delivered, shots fired. Don't be distracted by doommongers and conspiracy theories. Today's congressional hearing into the Clinton Foundation was extremely important, but perhaps not in the way many expected. I one of them. As Rex explains, once you understand how Trump uses Congress as a strategic weapon, the purpose of today's kabuki show reveals itself, and it's not good news for the enemies of the Republic. And it's a well-written article here, and people have been commenting about the fact that I named one of my videos Clinton Foundation Investigation Flop. I thought it was a flop from the point of view of I didn't think it was going to get much coverage in the mainstream media, which it hasn't. It does seem to have attracted a lot of attention in the alternative media nevertheless. Perhaps the most interesting part of today's explosive hearing into the Clinton Foundation was the last few minutes. Mark Meadows had a major tantrum about the investigators not turning over the 6,000 documents they have incriminating the Clintons to Congress. And Meadows said, I don't find how refusing to turn over information provides a good foundation for truth and transparency. And John Moynihan's reply, as says here, was priceless. What he said was, let me be very clear. You invited us. If you don't want us, disinvite us. We presented the evidence to government agencies, which you're not. And I remember that piece of that was an excellent response, I think, to Meadows, who was showing a lot of aggression at that point of time. And something a little bit off topic, but nevertheless for your amusement, this tweet from Alternative View Ireland: French government buildings getting coated with manure. I won't play too much of it, but you get the picture. And I want to bring to your attention this well-written article by American thinker: Is the Flynn guilty plea going to be thrown out? And I guess that's the question on everyone's mind, knowing what's happened. This is a very good overview for those who want to follow that particular thread. I just want to finish off here with a couple of articles that probably don't relate to the draining of the swamp, but they show us why the swamp needs to be drained. This one here about the number 3 person in the Vatican, our Cardinal George Pell here in Australia. We're not allowed to know about it. This is the front page of our local newspaper here. Censored. This is a nonsense. It has to stop. Why the judge would have given that injunction or the suppression order, gag order, call it what you will, I have no idea. And the last one I want to bring to your attention, and this one really blows my mind: Johnson & Johnson knew for decades that asbestos lurked in its baby powder. And I just asked the question, particularly in the Western world, I don't know about the Eastern world, but in the Western world, how many babies were not powdered with Johnson & Johnson baby powder? More than asking the other way around, I'd say 99.9% of babies exposed to the possibility of asbestos and what it can do. This is ridiculous. Why are we being used as guinea pigs? Because people want to make money. See it, they don't care if we live, die, get disabled, whatever the problem might be. Pisses me off. Anyway, that's enough. Cheers.